Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I know it has been a really long time, but I really wanted to film this video for you guys because I did post it on my Snap story and a lot of you requested that you wanted me to post it on my actual channel so you can go back to it whenever. So this is for all of you, and today I wanted to just do a little chit chat about, life after college graduation, finding jobs, finding the right community, the people, and all of that. So we're just gonna hop right into the video. So as most of you know, I did graduate from college in December, so I have been in the game for like 9 months and it's been a journey. So I just want to give you guys some tips and some advice and just kind of share with you how life has been going for me, and then leave me some feedback in the comments below and let me know if you guys can relate to any of this. And this is really for anyone who's planning on graduating in the future. Even if your graduation hasn't come up yet, this is still for you. You can still watch this video so that you can prepare for that when the time comes. So the first thing I wanted to get into is finding a job after graduation. And for me, I was a business major, so I didn't have a set field that I wanted to go into. I was just business administration. So I was basically open. I had to have an open mind to a lot of different jobs because I really didn't have an idea of what exactly I wanted to do. I knew what I was interested in, but going into college, they kind of just, you go in blindly selecting your major because none of us have actually been in the field that we're going to be working in unless you had like an internship during high school or something like that. That wasn't me, so I had to have an open mind. That was number one. And I also started applying to jobs really early. Like as soon as my senior semester started, I was applying to jobs. So 4 months before I even graduated, that's when I started because I knew it was going to take a long time. And here in the city that I am, there's a lot of competition. I go to one of the biggest universities in the nation, so that's why I just got started early. And I knew I didn't have too much experience besides like volunteer work that I did in high school. My parents always made sure that I was good and I didn't have to work, even though I wanted to, but I just didn't have the time nor the resources to do so. So I started applying early, and it still took me 6 months to get a job. I started in August, and I didn't land my first job until February. They hired me in January. I didn't start until February. So my second thing I would suggest is to apply to multiple jobs per day. Not just 1, 2, 3. I mean like 5 to 6 jobs per day. Because the more you get your resume out there and the more people see who you are, the more feedback you'll get and the more interviews you will book. So apply to multiple jobs a day, especially if you're in a time crunch like I was. I'm not from here where I live right now, so I had already made up in my mind that I was not going home. So it wasn't an option for me to pack up my stuff and go back home because that is not something that I wanted to do. I personally believe that Miami is not a place for me. It's not a place that I see myself growing. So I had made up in my mind that I was going to stay here. And so that's why I was in such a crunch to really get a job that could at least pay my rent, at least, because there's no more financial aid after graduation. That's another thing that really hurts. But I made it through, and I will also touch on credit later, but that was an important thing that got me through my period of between graduation and finding my job, that I was able to use my credit card to pay my rent for the month of January. So that was good. And so let's talk about once you start getting the interviews and the callbacks and all that stuff. So for me personally, I got rejected a lot. Like I had probably like 2-3 interviews a week, and none of them worked out. So that can really bring down your confidence level, and you can really start to doubt yourself, because you feel like people don't really see your work ethic. I mean, it's really impossible to see that in an interview that's like 30 minutes. And most of us, for me especially, it's hard to talk about myself because I don't know how to highlight things about myself that would stand out to other people. But throughout those interviews and all those rejections that I got, it was helping me practice for the actual interview that I needed to get the job that I had. So push through those rejections. Don't let that tear down your confidence, because God will never place you in a place that you're not supposed to be. So you might be fully qualified for the job, but if God doesn't want you there, He's not going to open that door for you. So He's doing you a favor by saying, no, sorry, we're not going to take you. We're looking at other candidates. And you just have to move on for that and keep applying every day to multiple jobs until you hear yes. And another thing is, like I said, God's not going to place you somewhere where He doesn't want you to be and that He doesn't see in your will, in His will for your life. So though you may be qualified, because that may not be the job that He sees you in, that might not be the best you can do, He's going to close that door and say, no, this is not for you. And just remember that God qualifies the ones that He calls. So if He calls you somewhere, He's going to qualify you for that job. And there's nothing anybody can do to take that away from you. Nothing. So just keep that in mind, and then go into all the interviews confident, no matter what. No matter if you feel like you're underqualified, if you're overqualified, go in with a confidence anyway, because you never know where God has called you to be. So basically, rejections prepare you for success. So don't ever let that get you down. Like I said, if I hadn't done all those interviews and gotten all those rejections, I wouldn't have had the practice to get to the level of confidence that I was when I went in for the interview for my job. So the next thing is community. Community is so important, especially after college, because when you're in college, they give you so many different organizations that you could be a part of, and it's really easy to just like join something because it's right there in front of you. So when you graduate, that like all disappears. It's nothing like that in the real world. Like, you actually have to put in the effort, go out, mingle with different people, and also find out what interests you, like what really interests you, and find organizations, clubs that you can be a part of, and find a support group that you can really trust in, because you're gonna need them, especially during the time of waiting for a job, or whatever else you plan on doing after college. So some examples of some things that you can join. You can join a local church if you're religious or spiritual. There's so many churches around the area that I am, and I'm so happy that I found the church that I feel comfortable in. Sports clubs, if you play volleyball, if you play basketball, find a gym or like a little sports club that you can be a part of, and that's a good way to meet people, because if you really know what you're interested in, you're going to find people that have the same interest by going to those types of events. So that's something that I encourage you all to do, because you do need a strong community to keep you up and encourage you during times of waiting and times of like that you're questioning God. So also find something to give to, do some acts of service. Don't forget to give back to your community, and find something that's going to give you purpose. Because I remember, like, after I graduated, I went from being a small group leader in college to just like being a regular backseat person in church, and I wasn't used to that. So finding something that you can give into, community service, helping out your church, anything like that that's going to give you purpose, is going to make you, like, give you a reason to wake up in the morning. And then lastly, learn through the struggle. Ask God what He's trying to teach you during your time of waiting. whatever struggles you're facing, ask him what he's trying to teach you and what he's trying to reveal to you. And just open your ears and just sometimes sit in silence, play some music, and just open up so that God can reveal to you what he's trying to teach you, so that you're not sulking in sadness and like disappointment and depression because you don't know where your life is going. So that's what I wanted to leave you guys with. I'm not going to talk too much, but I'll probably do like a separate video of like once you get the job, how you know if it's the right one, when is the time to leave a job, which I recently went through. So if you guys want part 2 of that, let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.